5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
0.
Yeah, I'm keeping the wooden board theme. Oh, I'm not playing this person. I wonder if they didn't get paired because they're playing another game. Okay, so I'm playing this person who... I played this person yesterday? I feel like I may have. All right, let's play knight c3. And I'll play a Grand Prix attack, how about? Bishop c4, d3, castle. a6. I'm actually wondering with a6, can I get away with this, this, and this? This. It probably makes sense to throw in pawn a4. If you want to join the tournament, go to Lichess, go to play arena tournaments, and then find the daily rapid arena. So e6. Okay. I'll still develop the bishop. Black might go for this and this. But I'm just going for quick development. I'm keeping the d-pawn back because I might play d4 in one go. I think here I'll just... Actually, am I scared of this move? Maybe. I could play bishop e3. Even bishop a2 has some logic to it. I'm going to play bishop a2. It does feel a little bit strange, but I think there were too many issues with the center fork trick, or just d5 right away. I'm probably going for a more kind of slow build-up rather than a quick attack. Black's playing pretty quickly. King h1 is very typical. I did see Team USA is likely going to draw Romania. I think there's still one game going, right? Fabiano's still trying to press. Take a look at that later. So there's a plan here with the bishop on a2. It's kind of just staring into a very solid pawn chain. So my plan is to play c3, bishop e1, d4, e5. Try and give the bishop some life. I have other plans of queen g3. I'm trying to provoke knight b4, which looks good, but after bishop e1 I gain time. Oh, Fabi drew, so it's done. Ah, that's tough for the US. He was like doing pretty well earlier in the game when I glanced at it. So I am trying to manage my time here. c3, d4 still on the horizon. We might see black play d4 before me, but if I get in c3, it should be okay. Would you consider doing a Gambit speedrun once you're done with the current one? Yeah, that's the plan. Like, hopefully sometime the next month or two. Gonna try and grind out more speedrun episodes. Thank you to Cheese Fists. The first time rhyme. The first sub of the stream, too. I appreciate it. Will the speedrun finish when you reach GM? Maybe. Unlikely, but that would probably take a very long time. So f5. I don't think I want to take on Passant. I'd rather have a more closed position. Do I want to play d4? d4 takes, I'd probably take with knight. Looks okay. I do give black some queenside play, but I didn't want black to play d4 and open the bishop. So with this move, I'm essentially killing this bishop. We might eventually see like a5, bishop a6. But now I'm going to get in bishop e1 eventually. Yeah, a5 is played. So now I'm thinking, yeah, the queen should go back. I'll probably reorganize. Like rook d1, even rook g1. Let's play rook d1 first. h3, g4 is definitely a major plan here. Is there a hard stop on the current speedrun? No. It'll probably be a very soft stop. Or maybe it'll be stop and go. I want to get to at least like 2300. Probably 24, 2500. So with this move, I unpin the knight. I reinforce d4. Black is maybe getting ready to play b5. Maybe I just play h3. A flexible move. And b5 might lead to some interesting transformations. Like bishop e3 now. Yeah, very close position. Okay, now probably g4. The g4, there's takes h5. Yeah, this knight is slightly annoying on g7. Maybe rook d2? The idea is to reinforce b2 in the event of b5 and also bring this rook to g1. And then g4 can have more of a punch. X-ray vision against the king. Black trades the bishop. Yeah, we might have a lot of trades here. Taking with bishop is a consideration. I'll take with the knights. If it takes with pawn, then yeah, black. I mean, do I have rook c2? I guess black could start with rook c8. The bishop pair isn't that great. I'll take with bishop. Now this move would threaten this, but okay, I'll have ways to defend. Oh, I won't have a heart rate monitor for this stream. I'm not wearing my watch. I think I forgot to charge it. Hopefully for tomorrow, though, for Title Tuesday. Okay, so queen e3 probably should be the move to start with. Or queen f2. I don't think there's a huge difference. Is black going to go for this? I don't think I would mind the position opening up. I'm creating this battery. Wow. Some potential tactics. And black's gearing up for g5. I'm considering queen f3, which maybe I should have played last move. I mean, bishop e3. Huh. Let's start with bishop e3. Discouraging g5. Also, maybe preparing g4. Thank you, Nusmata. Happy 33 months. There's a question, what do you think of My System by Aaron Nimzovich? I get this question a lot, like what my thoughts are on this book. It's not a book I've like fully read. I've probably skimmed it. I think back in the age when chess books were like more popular as a learning resource, it was probably one of the most notable books. But these days, like there's so much information online that, uh, yeah, there's probably a lot of other very viable ways to learn chess. Black goes for g5. So if I take f5, there's definitely some merit to this. I could play g3. Doesn't seem great though. What about queen f3? So if I take f4, bishop d4, knight g3, king h2, bishop g5. Oh, knight's coming here. That's a problem. I might just play rook g1. Not really a move I'm happy to play. Take. Yeah, this doesn't look great. I might actually just be losing here. There. Yeah, this is a big problem. Queen h4. Problem is if I do this or this. Do I have bishop d4? There's a weird line. Okay, let's try and calculate. There. I think I have to try this. Yeah, I'm much worse here. I'm down on time. This is my one hope. Hey, thank you, Key Whiskey. The big raid, I appreciate it. If you're just joining, I'm in big trouble. Probably need a miracle to survive this. Nice thing, after knight here, king here, knight f1, I move back. And there's no checkmate because the queen is pinned. And the knight can't take the rook because I'm attacking the queen. And if takes, then I don't lose my rook. But I'm still down a pawn, so I'm still probably in a lot of trouble. But at least the game keeps going. The queen trade appears to be forced. I wonder if my opponent will take a draw. No. Okay, so we go for this. Ah, nice find. Yeah, I'm just losing. Black's pausing though. Yeah, what to do? I lose a rook. A knight was bound to find the fork there. But maybe it's still a time scramble. Walk in with my king. And then pray. If the rook moves down, I take on d5. I think black probably should have brought the king to f6. Now going for that. Yeah, I still don't have much. Play this move. Interesting. So I have an active king. I'm just trying to resist. I want to play g4. Hmm. Thanks for the $1. Okay, F6. Take. Yeah, it's still just losing.
Hey, it's Jonathan's twin brother. How are you today?
I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Hmm. Okay, that's a good sign. Draw. That's crazy if my pawn takes the draw. Wow, they took the draw? Like they're winning the whole game. Wow. Okay. I survived that. I offered the draw more of a psychological ploy. And black just like is winning. Yeah, just king takes f6 in the end. I mean, black had the time. Yeah, very strange finish there. I did have a decent opening. But then, like, around here, this is probably like the shift of momentum. Like g5 was found. Very timely move. And then this was all... Yeah, this is all like the... And this whole sequence is pretty forcing for black. Okay, well, I didn't lose. Let's move on. Wait, did I play that opponent yesterday? Because I did play this opponent once before. Oh, I did. Ah, this was... Yeah, I played this opponent yesterday. They were offering me a bunch of draws in like a winning position. Okay. Yesterday I did manage to win. Okay, let's go back to the tournament. So this is a 2.5 hour rapid tournament. Have you watched any of the Chess Olympics? Yeah, I did actually commentate a few of the rounds for the Olympiad. Let's berserk. I'll play aggressively this game. I will be commentating one more round, actually the final round on Sunday with Gari. Shout out to Gari Shankar. Goes by Grandmaster Gari on Twitch. Interesting move order. I think I can get away with knight a5. Actually, maybe d5 is more justified. So this is basically a reverse scotch. I have a bit more space with the pawn on e5. Probably look to complete development, White spending the time, or spending maybe a bit too much time moving the same piece. And probably the best way to punish such a move is just to keep developing. Like, I don't mind having double pawns. I'm ready to castle and break the pin. Calculating castling, takes, and then takes on e5. I don't think that's great for me, actually. Maybe queen f6. Winning fast and playing aggressively is such a satisfying experience. That's what I'm trying to do this game. Might be hard to win super fast, but it's always nice having the lead in development as black after just 7 moves. I'll castle. Yeah, it was fun commentating with Gari and Ilya. It's basically the 3 of us that are taking over the Lichess Twitch and YouTube channels for the event. I don't do tournament commentary too often, at least in an official capacity. But yeah, once in a while it's fun to do. So f6 is nice, attacking the bishop, defending the pawn. These pawns aren't super weak. There's usually 2 things that make something a weakness. Something that's easy to attack and hard to defend. Meanwhile, d3 is a weakness, just not defended and attacked. Now white's struggling to complete development on the queen side. I'm just looking to keep improving, probably bishop g4, e4 if I get the chance. Any mockers in chat? I feel like that's a Mark Esserman reference, which I don't like fully understand. So this knight is, I mean, it's an ultra pin, because if the rook moves, it's still pinned. e4 is going to come. I'm also just threatening to take and win the pawn. Hey Eric, I often hear people say that you shouldn't push the f-pawn. Though I know it's justified in many cases, how can you tell whether you're weakening your king or not with f-pawn push? I think it comes down to a very simple question. Is you have to ask yourself what the opponent wants to do and can they punish the change in the position. Like in this game, when I move my f-pawn, there's really no way white could try and punish the newly opened diagonal. In such cases, you have to be aware of a move like queen b3, or if the bishop's on c4, or if your king's still on e8, then you have to watch out for these checks. But it just comes down to whether the opponent can punish you. And in this case, the structure is super, super solid. How to keep attacking? I'll bring the other rook in. The point of this move is I want to play this, but I don't want to lose this pawn. And eventually I want to lift one of the rooks to the G or H file. Throw in this move. Take with check first. Oh, actually this is really strong, because if the king moves, I win the queen. And if white blocks, then I win something. So white does have this check, exploiting the fact that I played f6, but yeah, just king h8. Oh, maybe I could have played f5 in one go. Use tactics to my advantage. Do I not have mate here? The knight's actually well placed. Queen g6. I'll play rook e2. So I'm threatening to take the knight. Yeah, it feels like it should just be mating for me somehow. But the queen on f1, it's always controlling g2. And it's not easy for my queen to get to h2 and also keep the rook defended. But now white's in a spot where the knight, maybe b3 was possible. Let's just bring the other rook in. Oh, thank you, Earthling Jess. 200 bits says, love your videos so much that I play most of your opening repertoire, OTB. London, Cambridge Springs, QGD, Knight C3, Sicilian, etc. That's nice to hear. I imagine we'll get a good handful of those openings throughout the stream. We already had one Knight C3 Sicilian, which I was very fortunate to survive. What about this black against e4? I feel like that's one opening that wasn't mentioned there. Free knight. Did I miss a free knight? If I took the knight, I would lose the rook. So sometimes nothing in life is free. Okay, this should be mate. A couple more moves. This is double check. Okay. Yeah, hopefully a nice example of how to punish the opponent for not developing quickly enough. Got an active position, one material, one more material. We'll keep going. Oh, French or Caro also included, which are very solid openings. All right, what to play? I'll play London. This was mentioned in the cheer. London and Knight C3 Sicilian, so maybe you also play a mix of e4 and d4. The opponent wanted to transpose into a French. Okay, so this is some... Yeah, usually the early trade on d4 combined with e6, it can lead to a passive middle game for black. And I'm just going to do the typical like London setup. Bishop d3, castle. And then in the middle game, the plan is to usually plant a knight on e5. If bishop d6, I'll have a choice, whether to take or move back or play knight e5 immediately. I think all the moves are viable. I usually just move back, keep the tension. If takes, h-file opens. If black castles, then h-file could be used as a way of attacking. Black pressuring b2. Defend. There's a question, isn't c3 considered better than e3 as a response to c6? I think you mean as a response to c5. Both moves are usually completely fine, as long as you maintain the pawn on d4. One of the reasons for playing e3, and it's probably more typical in the London, is you want to capture with the e-pawn because it opens e-file and allows the queen, in this case, to support the knight coming to e5, which I could play right away. But there's other ideas here too, like b4. Let's go for b4. Yeah, black is playing in a slightly exotic fashion. I'd say in like 90% of the London games, black castles queenside. This castling queenside will walk into maybe even more deadly attack. So I have the idea of b5 to open the b file. Do you have a favorite chess game of all time that I played or that someone else played? I have to think about it. Karpov Teeman was nice. It's like very positional game. Their game in the Purits. The Immortal Zugzwang game is nice. I should remember who played it. Samish and someone else. Okay, b5. I'll start with b5. Wow. So black wants to open the file and win my queen. But I can open this file, attacking black's queen, attacking the bishop, winning a knight. Also, the knight was defending e5, so I wonder, could black have missed that my rook's defended? It's defended twice. Or maybe black wants to take and then try and win my queen. But I'm going to win the bishop with check and then not even lose a queen. The Yasser King d7 game. I know what you're talking about. That's a nice one. Yeah, maybe after this game I can answer some of these London questions in more depth. There's another question about leaving the bishop here and then accepting double pawns, which is also like usually a very fine strategy. And that's the nice thing about the London is you don't have to like play the same strategies every time. The London actually has a lot of different types of strategies you can choose from. Some of which are more positional, some of which are more aggressive. d4 is hanging. I want to play rook c1, but c1's not covered. Maybe queen e3 first. And queen e3 walks into knight g4. Alright, I'm just going to castle. Gifting the pawn. And then the plan is to play this. Or maybe start with check. It looks pretty good for white. Why don't you play the Jobava? Yeah, I don't play the Jobava too often. It always feels like the Jobava is a little bit disharmonious. With a knight on c3 blocking in the c-pawn. Of course, there are ideas with knight b5. I do play the Jobava setup against certain structures that black will play. But in these main lines, I do like to stick with normal London. Speaking of Jobava, Jobava is playing the Olympiad, and he won a game with the Jobava London. It was a really nice game. But yeah, going back. So yeah, there's a question why not c3, which is totally fine. If takes, you take back with pawn. This is a more symmetrical pawn structure. I mean, I play e3 because as we saw what happened in the game, I keep this central pawn chain, and then with the e file half open, the queen or potentially the rook can support knight e5. And there is also a question maybe regarding a position like this, where in some cases you just leave your bishop here and you allow takes and takes. And the structure is very fine. If this pawn is ever attacked, there's g3, and then it helps support e5. I know Andrew Tang likes to play the structure a lot. So this is another point that mentioned in chat, that c3 has some idea that if queen b6, you can play queen b3. I'll say that if after e3, queen b6, then white doesn't have queen b3, but there's a kind of a cool way to react to this move, where white doesn't have to defend the pawn directly, but white can play knight to c3. And the idea is you allow black to take, but then knight b5. And this is kind of going into a Jobava London, very good version where knight b5 is a massive threat. And essentially white's defending the pawn with tactics. And then there's a funny line, if black plays a6, preventing knight b5, it looks like this is now a threat, but white can respond with a very tricky move. Actually, the most common move here is rook to b1, which is probably the most normal, but the tricky move is a3. And then you say, oh no, my pawn. And the point is if black takes, a3 is taking away the b4 square, and white can play knight a4, and the queen's trapped, because all these squares are covered. So, yeah, maybe e3 has more like tactical venom to it after queen b6. I did play a similar idea against Mukhtarow, a slightly different move order, but very often in the London you see the same ideas occurring from maybe slightly different positions. Are you playing the arena to the end? Probably, if I have enough energy. I actually started the stream right when the arena started. Not sure if I'll have chances to win the tournament, but maybe top 10 would be a decent finish. So now I'm playing against a Smith Morra. I'll play the line with bishop to b4. Attempt at being solid. Pretty sure the point is 97. I haven't looked at this line in a while, but wow, knight d5. Yeah, I do remember this being a move. I think the point is that black just takes and then gives back the piece. I don't want to burn too much time here. I'm allowing pawn d6, or of course pawn takes knight. Yeah, the Smith Morra is definitely a dangerous opening if white's well prepared, or if white has like memorized the Mark Esserman book, or if white is Mark Esserman. This is probably not Mark Esserman's alt account. But at a very high level, it's not super dangerous if black knows what to do. A lot of strong players will just avoid accepting the gambit and play knight f6 here. And this would transpose into an Alapin Sicilian. But over the years, I've leaned more towards accepting the gambit and trying to hold on to the extra pawn. So white plays bishop to g5, not taking the knight. Maybe I could start with h6. f6. f6 would be a case where it's too weakening. Allow takes with check. f6 is interesting though, because if takes, I have pawn d5. But it looks wrong, like d6. And bishop g5 is definitely in the spirit of the position. I'm thinking I start with h6. I'm assuming black will play this. And then I probably just play knight a5. Hold on to the extra piece. Because d6 is not quite in time. So I can take and I'm still attacking the bishop, I think. Although it does get tricky. Knight a5, d6. Bishop d6, queen d6. Knight f5 should be okay. I'm going to go for this. I think it's likely I'll probably lose back the piece somehow. Either with this line or even like eventually a3 and b4. But as long as I get a pawn for the piece and don't get mated, it should still be okay. There was a question, why not save the knight? So that's what I'm actually trying to do. In this position, if I played knight a5 here, maybe I could have considered this. I think eventually it would get trapped with a3, b4, so if I played knight b8 here, there's d6. So I did prioritize king safety for a moment there. And it's a good sign white's taking time. I would be way more scared if my opponent were like blitzing out all the moves after knight d5. Bishop d3 is played. So now, yeah, it's still kind of a question. White wants to do this and this, and the knight would be trapped. I mean, I want to play d6, but then like a3, bishop c5, b4 is not so pleasant. I'm thinking bishop d6 here. Feels strange, but maybe one way to go. And that way white can't play a3 with tempo. One plan might be b5 and then knight c4. Try and make as much use as possible for this knight. It's going to take a long time to develop the bishop this way, so bishop developing other way probably makes more sense. White wants to play this move. Also bring in the queen. Now I'm thinking queen b6 here. Unpin and attack. There's queen g4. Oh, but I'm also attacking the pawn. Yeah, let's play it. I guess there's knight b5. But then I move the knight. Yeah, it's definitely awkward. Like, my pieces are kind of, what's the best way to describe it? One of these, like, awkward middle school dances. But eventually they'll mature into, like, decent members of society. There's a funny idea, queen g4, knight g6. I could also probably just take the pawn. But the calculation was takes and takes and takes, and bishop takes h2 to win the queen. White's trying to set up their own tactics. If I take the knight, there's bishop h7, winning my queen. So now it's a question. Also, my knight's attacked, so g5 is a move. It's probably asking for too much trouble. g5, bishop g3. I think I'm mainly debating between this and this. I don't immediately see anything wrong with this, but it feels shaky. So the d file's open. Knight f5 happens. I think this is just much safer. So if white wants to trade, then white's trading off one of the main attackers. So I'm down about a minute. I'm also hitting the bishop, so if white doesn't take, I think we're guaranteed to trade minor pieces. I'm also blocking the check, so I am threatening to take the knight on d4. There's a question, how often does this event happen? It happens more than once a year. I assume this happens 365 times a year. There's also the yearly Rapid Arena, which I think actually happens twice a year. I've managed to play in a few times. So now I'm up on time. Knight f5 played. Interesting. So this does allow knight takes bishop. There's kind of a weird line here. Knight takes bishop, knight takes h6, takes, and then queen g4. And if I move back, white can likely force a draw. So take, take, take. Queen g4. Is king h8 worth playing there? Definitely still some work to do. I mean, bishop c5 comes to mind. These pieces are really out of it. I'm actually considering like just taking and playing d6. Have my bishop participate. Feels wrong though. So take, take, take. Okay, let's hunker down. Takes, takes, takes. Queen g4, king h8 takes. Bishop c5. Threatening to simplify. I'd be up 2 pieces there. That should be fine. I kind of, like, when I first was looking at this line, I didn't quite realize I'm up 2 pieces. But after white takes, it's another piece sacrifice. White wins back the knight. I hope I'm not missing anything. Queen e4, I have f5. So calculating this and then king h8 is a plan. I mean, sometimes this is what you have to endure when you play against a Smith Morra. Just this onslaught of an attack. Realizing there might be some issue here. I'm still going to go for it. So bishop c5 defends h6 from a distance. White has a crazy move here, rook e6. Cutting off my queen and threatening mate. Like if I take the rook, I get mated. Is white going to find this? No. If rook e6 I would have taken on f2, I would have been fine. White understands the threat. So now I just want to consolidate somehow. b2's defended. Maybe bishop d4. Queen e4 is a small issue. Bishop d4. Yeah, white's running queen e4. But then I have f5. I might be in some trouble here. The point of this move is to either play bishop g7 or queen f6. After either of these moves, next plan is to play d6 and bring out my bishop. That's a very good sign. White's trying to be safe. Losing some time. So I'm offering the queen trade, keeping the bishop defended. If queen e4, I play queen g7. Important move.
Buy yourself something nice, kiddo.
Oh, thank you, lifestyle coaching. I'll put that towards the tea fund. Find some nice tea. I'm looking forward to the weather getting cooler, so I can more comfortably drink hot tea. I've been drinking a lot of like just chilled water recently. Hey TJ.
Quack,
How's it going? Welcome back. Happy 39. Yeah, so the plan is probably f5, d6. I don't really care about my knight. White is maybe preparing rook to c7. Let's start with f5. I might even play this move. Just give the knight and prevent rook c7. And d6 also looks fine. Wait, d6, rook c7, take king g8. Yeah, that should be fine. I was calculating this. Takes. King g8. I don't think the bishop or rook can really come in time. I have this move. Is white gonna sack more material? There's a funny line. Rook e7. Oh, wait. No, never mind. Seeing some back rank mates, but queen covers e1. We still have 2 pieces. This move attacks the bishop and knight. Where's my counterplay? I guess I drop the knight. Oh, here's my counterplay. Oh, let's be careful. Not get mated. Okay. The knight is finally entering the game. Okay, it wasn't easy. Gained 1 rating point for that. But hopefully this goes to show what you need to do against a Smith-Morra player. Maybe it wasn't the cleanest game. Knight d5 is definitely a dangerous line here, which there are a lot of moves for white in this position. Oh, thank you, LVN. The Chilled Water Fund. Appreciate that. Yeah, so minus 0.3 means white definitely has compensation. And let's see. So far I'm playing top engine moves until bishop d6. Engine likes b5. b5 makes a ton of sense actually. Because white's not actually threatening this. If this takes... Wow. Takes... Okay, so some engine line where black gives back the piece, but is up 2 pawns. And then at some point I did give away my whole advantage. After bishop d6. Black was better. Oh, wow. Oh, I missed a nice line. I missed knight g6 here. I just discarded this move because takes and it looks like white's forcing repetition. But I missed bishop takes h2 in between move. And queen comes in and blocks up 2 pieces. Yeah, that would have been really nice. Thankfully, I still survived after this line. Just to show, this is almost winning for white. Rook e6. Actually, it would be winning if I don't have my next move. Bishop takes f2 simplifies everything. Okay, some lessons to take away there. Keep going. I think I'm still down rating for the tournament with that first round draw. Wonder how my opponent's doing. Oh, do they only play one game? Huh. Okay. Playing BSP. There's a question, would you find the in-between move and a longer time control? Maybe. Hopefully. What do I play against the French? Let's play a Tarrasch. Thank you, Pure Badger. Happy 15 months. Yeah, this is one of the first openings I learned against the French. The Tarrasch variation. G6 is a sign that black wants to play probably in a slower manner. I think I just have to do my own thing. The general setup is to bring this knight to f3, bishop to d3, and knight to e2. The best harmonious setup for such an opening. Black wants to play this now, which I don't think I can prevent. I could maybe play c3 and bishop c2. There's also c4. Yeah, realizing maybe I should not have committed to bishop d3. Oh, what to do? There's a funny line. Do I want to commit to h4, h5, knight g5? I'm going to go for it. The funny line is h5, knight g5, bishop a6, and I take on e6.
Thank you for teaching us, Eric.
Oh, thank you, Mark M. Happy 13. Okay, black's ensuring that I don't have any shenanigans. Now, queen e2 prevents attempted trading, but there's a5. Although maybe I go for this. Queen e2, a5, c4. Let's start with queen e2. c4, bishop a6, b3. Okay. I'm trying to prevent things from closing down completely. I do open the diagonal. I do allow black to win the pawn. But then the position becomes more open. I've sacked a pawn. But I have full development. I have the e4 square to work with. Black does seem a little bit passive. Rook d1 makes sense here. Thank you on chess. Yeah, I think I'll just castle. Black's playing really quickly, giving c7 now. b6 is now going to fall. Or not. So black wants to play rook c8. Could play rook c1. Some rook fd1 ideas. Yeah, this is basically prophylaxis against rook c8, but I'm also preparing rook fd1. Just try and exert maximum pressure. And then, yeah, knight e4 coming sometime soon. If black plays this, I have knight f7. Okay, it feels really close to smother mate now. I mean, let's just start with this. Yeah, not so easy to get the knight to g7. But there's a lot of ideas here, like rook c6, target the queen and pawn. It seems hard for black to find a useful move. I can't really offer the queen trade. Queen a8, maybe looking to play queen b8. I still want to play knight e4. Knight e4 blunders a piece. Okay, thankfully I'm somewhat alert. Maybe knight d2 to e4? Black's trying to hold. I should consider bishop takes b6. It's slightly frustrating. It seems like there should be a clear win here. It's equal material. I'm leaning towards this. Knight c5. No, knight c5 loses a pawn. I was close to blundering knight e4 there. Maybe I should have considered this going into c6. Black offers a queen trade. Queen c6. It's a type of position where you really don't want to trade queens. Black's king is way more of a target. And if queen a8, I'll probably play queen b5. Keep the pin. Okay, this gives me time to keep improving. Some potential checking squares. I'm down a little bit of time, but the position's so good. Knight d6. And this forces bishop takes d6. I'll take back with rook. The rooks are ready to double. This knight can come into f6. Or maybe sack at some point. So I think like this whole situation stemmed from a really important move earlier, which I can make note of after the game. Still takes work though. Queen a4. Now black can't really touch my queen here. Pinning the knight. And I can add now 3 attackers to the knight. And this knight will be the 4th attacker. Oh, I was about to blunder knight e4 again. It might be a fine move, but no, queen takes e4. Maybe I should just take the pawn. But then rook a8. Rook a8 traps my queen? Why is this difficult to win? Play this move. Play rook d4. Kind of a random looking move, but there's 2 points. I'm preparing the triple up, but also enabling this. I play f5, bishop g5.
Lucky I can catch a stream after catching a nasty cold. Keep
Oh,
up the
good
good
catch.
content.
Sounds like a bad catch followed by a good catch. I think I just play f5 here. Like the prospect of bishop g5 looks so good. I'm allowing black to take pawns 3 different ways. But bishop g5... There could be some windmill action. Okay, take. Okay, big transformation here. Oh, still not over. Okay, let's go for this and then probably queen e8. I'm not seeing the mate. Take on e6. Yeah, this should be good enough. If knight takes, I take the rook. Rook d6. Also check. Oh, this is simpler. If knight here, it's mate in 1. Wait, it's just force mate. Okay. If king here, it would be... Okay, maybe not immediately mate, but probably mate eventually. That took work. Black kind of cocooned in the center and almost survived. Even towards the end, there was a moment, like right before black got mated. Rook g7 here. I still have to work for it. If I take the knight, I get mated. Queen takes g2. Would be tragic. But this whole attack stemmed from the c4 move, which the engine doesn't like. But then, okay, it really doesn't like black taking on d4. So it made it more, yeah, more enjoyable to play once the center opened up. So moving on. I need to update the join command. Copy. Commands, edit, join. Okay. Now the join command should link to the tournament I'm currently playing in. So we are having a Sicilian accelerated dragon. Bishop b5. Bishop c4 is way more common. I think I just castle and we'll see what White is up to. I'm not sure if there's a great way to punish this move. Maybe just a6. Yeah, I'm just going to play a6. Very often in these positions, a6 comes anyway to prepare b5. I wouldn't mind getting the bishop pair, which is what happens. About to play on autopilot. Drop a pawn. It was happening last game too. I don't know what's causing this. Queen c7 looks more solid. And the plan is just to get a nice harmonious setup. And probably eventually d6, rook b8. There's a lot of natural improving moves back in play here. f3. So d5 is actually a move to consider. Probably just a move to go for. And then I'm already threatening e5. Kick the knight and then fork. What's the most rating points you've lost in a day? I'm not sure. Probably during one of the marathon tournaments, lost well over 100 points. Where I play like very sleep deprived and berserk. It's not a good combination. So this pawn's attacked. Rook d8 is the first move that comes to mind. Bishop b7. Bishop b7, knight c5, bishop c6. If I play rook d8, knight a4, threatening stuff. But then rook b8 also looks okay. I'll start with this. I have a feeling it's probably like findable in the stats that Lichess gives you or chess.com gives you when you look at the rating graph. It's probably not a stat they'll like tell you offhand though. You have to actually look for it. Okay, so I prevented white's threat. White's going for some dark square control on the queen side. I mean, now e5. There's another cool idea, rook b4. Attacking the knight, let's say knight c5, and then rook h4. g3. I'm not sure if it actually does anything. I'll play e5. Take the center. If white wants to give me another bishop, I don't mind that. So white tucks the bishop away. Develop. Attacking c2. White saves the pawn but gives a rook. No mercy. Probably e4 does concede d4. But at the same time, e4 also allows this. Okay, that's why I take my time. I have to do some blunder checking. Another idea is to bring the knight to f4. Also maybe consider this move. I'm going to go for this. So it's kind of fighting for these squares which white is trying to target. And it might just lead to trades. Like if I can play queen c6, Queen c6 traps the knight, I think. Yeah, white would have had to keep the bishop here to support knight c5. So that worked out really nicely. Oh yeah, there's been a few questions this stream about when I'm getting the GM title. I don't have any norms. It's still very, very far away. I did play like 3 over-the-board classical tournaments this summer. And over the course of the tournaments, I gained some rating. But yeah, I still have no norms. My rating, I think, is like 2370 something FIDE. And I'm not sure when my next classical tournament will be. It could very well be in like sometime in 2025. Okay, just making gradual improvements. Probably look to double up on the C file. Target C3. I think it's time for E4 now. Unleashing the bishop. It's a big focal point. No mercy. Do you ever struggle with board notation? Probably when I was like first learning. Like, it takes time to get used to. It's kind of just like learning a new language. Requires patience and practice. Okay. Pretty smooth game overall. Yeah, stemming from this Accelerated Dragon. Yeah, most people play Bishop c4, more common move. I think we saw the downside of white conceding the bishop pair and then conceding the center as well. Oh, knight g4 is a move here. I didn't consider this, but it's a cool idea. Because if queen takes g4, I take the knight on d4. Okay. Moving up in the world. Few people want me to play Jobava. The person or the opening? I played Jobava the person about a year ago. Was it a year ago? No, a few years ago. In Abu Dhabi. He crushed me. I didn't even play the Jobava London against him. Question, did you play the last Lee Chess Marathon? No, because I was in Norway.
Wonderful to see you, Mr. Rosen.
Oh, good to see you too, HVL. Alright, I'll Berserk. I'll play Jobava London. I'm playing a decently high-rated player. F6 though. Against F6, I think I just play E4. Okay, this is actually a playable opening, I think. Let's play this. Maybe F4. I'll try and just get an open position. Take. I'll play E5 at the right moment. G4. Probably moving too slowly here. Try G4. It looks interesting. The idea is to play F5. Take, 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 take. I think I've mishandled this. Try and fight though. Knight A4. Let's see what to do. Can't play Rook F1. Kind of a sad and slow move. I gotta move a lot quicker too. Try and target this king side. Knight H8 traps a queen. Ah, that's nasty. Yeah, I'm getting outplayed. Trying to just survive. Okay, now Queen G6. Probably not great. And maybe I could use the square, get the knight in. Still doesn't look so good for me. If this, I have this. Rook E6 idea. E7. Take, take. Not sure. It seems like progress. Queen B5, Queen B3. There's this move as well. Threatening maiden 1 now. How does Black not get mated? F5 I take. I might just be winning now, despite my poor opening play and time management. I think everything is under control. Knight d2 I take. c2 is defended. Man, this is pretty much unstoppable. Ah, there's that move. Oh, the game keeps going. King a2. Okay, there we go. Okay, it wasn't easy. I think I just mishandled opening. I tried to punish it too much, and then it's still fine for white. Let's see. Engine likes f4 immediately. This is all fine. Yeah, maybe g4 is a bit too much. Question, you're playing on Mac? Yes. Yeah, I'm using a Mac Mini. A desktop setup. I didn't really play a Jobava London there. I mean, d4, f6, I kind of have to just follow more principles, take the center. Oh, I played the person in first place too. So that's a good win. Still far away from first place. Is it Stafford Gambit time? Let's play a Stafford. I'm feeling it. Okay, we'll have a 4 knights. Oh, we'll have a center fork trick. This one. Okay. I need to be accurate here. Bishop g4. Pretty sure it's this and then h5. Yeah, h5 takes... Just gonna play it quickly. So I do sack a pawn. Opponent doesn't take it. I could play bishop g4, which looks nice. And then develop. I mean, d3 is coming. But there's a nice idea to take and then knight d4. Or maybe even knight d4 first. Let's see, if I take first, white takes back. I play knight d4. White castles, I save my king. I should win material. And white can castle with check. But I'll tuck my king away. And we'll probably see rook f2 or rook e1. And I don't even have to take the knight right away. And maybe I should. Considering queen and queen d6 gets hit by bishop f4. So take, take, take. And queen e7 looks fine. I think I'll actually start with queen e7. Okay, now, yeah, I essentially gain a tempo. And take here, put the rook in. I want to play this and this, but I have to defend h5. I could play queen f7 and shift over. There's also g6. But I don't want the bishop to plant itself. Oh, maybe e3. E3 looks really nice. Took me a while to consider that move, but yeah, now I've obstructed the diagonal. I can now support my passed pawn. And generally the queen is not a great blockading piece, because once I attack it, it's going to have to move. Is it winning? E2? E2, bishop d2. Rook f1, takes. It feels really close.
Rosen, thank you.
I think this is actually simpler. Queen f7. Offer the queen trade. King's cut off, the bishop's out of it. Thank you, Hank Hukers. Happy 2 years. Okay, now I can check. And then e2. What is a blockade piece? It basically describes a piece that's stopping a pawn from moving. In general, knights are some of the best blockaders. A knight in front of a passed pawn. Okay, we'll chase the king up the board. King is finding safety. I mean, there's g4 here. But eventually it's going to find non-safety. But where's my win? Check, check. King is just dancing around its lady. Check. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice the rook. Okay. Why are knights better blockaders than bishops? Yeah, there's always exceptions, but like in general, if you have a knight, let's say on e2, it still helps control a lot of squares. Because it can jump over things. And bishops are probably the second best blockaders. But queens and kings are generally not preferable to blockade a passed pawn like this. Because once it's attacked, then it's like a valuable thing you have to save. Okay, moving on. There's 41 minutes left. I'm in 8th place. I'm 20 points out of first. Should I just start berserking and try and win the tournament? It's probably already too late. But if my opponent berserks, maybe I can try. Hey, it's Chess Dojo. Thanks for the raid. Oh, I'm playing this person, Tushi, who's, I think, streaming on YouTube. Oh, we played before. I remember there was a YouTube video about our game. Also, shout out to Chess Dojo. I do appreciate the raid. If you're just joining, I've been playing pretty much the full daily rapid. And this is my prep against the Jobava London, which a lot of people wanted me to play earlier. Now I'm playing against it. G4. Can I get away with... I think this is... Maybe I have to play e6 first. There's some nuances here. I'll throw in a6. It looks a little bit passive for black, but preparing some simple developing moves. Probably queen b6. I might already be threatening to take on d4 or on b2. Probably not on b2 though. e5 is interesting. I think bishop d6 is more solid. Exploit the fact that white has surrendered this diagonal. King f2. I feel like we played a very similar game before. Question is what to do next. Take on b2, rook b1. e5, take. There's an interesting line, e5, take bishop c5. Let's just start with a normal move. I've been moving a little bit slowly. So if g5, knight h5 should be fine. Sometimes white goes for this to then play g5. So if h5, I probably play h6. There's another idea to play this and this. Okay, rook b1, safe move. Yeah, the point of knight c4 is really just to try and get the bishop pair. Either trade off for this or this. Should keep in mind queen c7 as well. Create the battery, attack the knight. Okay, this... I actually have a decision here. I think I'd rather take with a rook. Takes with pawn, there's maybe a little bit to worry about. So I do have the bishop pair. White's trying to hold on. Creating two batteries with this move. And now I'm going for the minority attack. Just b4 coming. I guess white could play b4 first. g5. I think I have to retreat. Knight should maybe find a new home. Yeah, very strategic game so far. White's still probably doing fine. If I play b4, take, rook c1, bishop b5. f5 comes to mind. Could also take... Yeah, let's open the f file. And then h6. I'm not sure if I want a castle, but probably at some point rook f8. The king is probably just safer in the center. Unless this happens, white uses the a file, which is played. Yeah, probably just queen b8. White could maybe go for b3, c4. Tense position. Ah, b3 I take on c3, because this knight's overworked. I would take with check and then win back the knight on c3. Wow, white sacks. So what's the point? Take... I don't actually see the point. G7, rook G8. The knight defends a rook. Take on C3. Maybe I took too soon. Take. Let's go for this. Feels wrong giving up the bishop, but I win some material. Queen f4 idea. Yeah, queen f4, check there. I think it's fine. I allow rook a8. There's rook f8. Ooh, it gets spicy. I think it's okay though. I also have bishop c8. Rook a8, bishop c8. Yeah, this is probably just safer. I just have to defend before I can attack. I'm threatening d4, like take on d4 and then take on g7. I don't have rook c2 because the queen guards that square. So this is probably the simplest. And we're either trading queens or I'll win the knight on g3. Okay, good fight. Yeah, I had to be careful even towards the end there with this piece sack on the king side. I think everything was under control though. White provoked some weakness, but my king was safe. Pieces were on good squares. So back to tournament. There's 31 minutes left. I did get berserking points for that. So 35 tournament points. I'll berserk, why not? Taking some risk. This will force me to play faster. We have a Queen's Gambit declined. Oh, can I go for Cambridge Springs? Okay, Cambridge Springs. First instance of this opening this stream. This is probably one of the most common traps in the Cambridge Springs. Even though bishop d3 looks very natural, it walks into some pretty nasty initiative from black. e4 forks g5 and c3. There's a lot of players that don't realize the bishop's attacked twice. Like if you look in the Leirix database, I think one of the most common moves here is queen c2, losing the bishop. Yeah, bishop f4. Now isn't there some trick like e5? What was the point? e5 take. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to start with e5. And the simple line is just to take on c3. But with the inclusion of this, after, let's say pawn takes e5, I take on c3, takes, knight d2, then I have the option to take on e5 and get better initiative. I'll still be up a pawn. There's also a bishop here, but then rook c1. I don't really get much. Just making sure. Okay, so I'm up a pawn. 6 pawns versus 5. I have the bishop pair. I'm down on time though, so let's develop. Bishop d6, knight f3, queen f6. Yeah, I'm down about 5 minutes on the clock. But still a nice opening success. Okay, there's b5 here. And I chase the bishop away and then bishop e6. Although that might walk into queen c2. Yeah, maybe I should just start with this. I have to watch out for bishop e4. Maybe I could have taken on h3. This is still bishop e4. I'm just trying to expand. Oh, he's threatening this. Definitely some pressure here.
What kind of music do you listen to?
I just let the algorithms decide what I listen to. I have Amazon Music, and every week it just gives me a new discovery mix. I really don't pay attention to who the artists are, but it's good music. Someday I should kind of make note of who I listen to. Oh, can I take now? Actually loses material. I could maybe play this. Take. So it looks like I'm leaving this pawn undefended, but I'm threatening this. Maybe looking to play this or this next. I'd say it's a mix of like pop, acoustic rock, like more chill. Like probably Imagine Dragons of Monsters and Men. There's probably some John Mayer thrown in there. I used to listen to a lot of Jason Mraz. But it's been a while since I listened to him. Okay, position looks nice. Keep expanding. B4. I guess I'm allowing queen a4. I'll play queen e7. Okay, I have to focus here. It's not super trivial. Maybe now it is, though. White's allowing this tactic. I'm trying to poke and prod. Start with this. Good move. Oh no, I'm getting forked. It's a triple fork. Of course I'm attacking the pawn. It's a nice move to unleash the queen and obstruct white's queen. White's not giving up. Still have to watch my time, so defending and attacking. Knight's gonna have to move. Knight h4. I'm gonna go after this pawn. So queen e2, I keep attacking the pawn. And queen e2, I also have rook d2. Rook d2, there's queen e3. If f3, I play g5, knight f5, queen f5. Okay. Yeah, now it's plenty of time. Okay, gained another rating point. Let me just check this. I'm pretty sure this is like the proper way to play this trap. I mean, for most people, if you play Cambridge Springs and you just know takes in knight e4, you'll be in very good shape. But specifically against bishop f4, e5 is a nice move to know. It's actually tied for the top engine move. But yeah, it's dangerous, especially when white takes and black's advantage is bigger now. Okay, moving on. 4th place. Probably not going to take first. Top 3 is definitely doable, though. I mean, time for maybe a few more games. Oh, okay. There's been... what's the best word to describe what just happened? Let's berserk. There's been justice. I got a rating refund. Can I show it? Maybe I'll show it after this game. My rating was refunded 8 points. I think I know what game that was from. Which is interesting because I beat the same player last night. Okay, let's go for this line. So this is one of my favorite lines to play against the Dutch. Knight c6. I'm supposed to play queen b3. I actually don't remember the theory here. Like rook d1. I haven't played against this line in a while. So I wonder, did my score get changed in the arena? Okay, I have to focus here first. Hey, rook d1 makes sense. Oh, it did. So I got 2 points instead of 1 point. And I got the early streak too. So that's why maybe I I boosted in arena points as well. Yeah, kudos to Lichas for being on top of fair play. I was playing. I played a suspicious opponent a few days ago on a different platform. I couldn't even find the report button. It's a new ICC platform. Okay, G5 might be coming. Let's play Bishop E2. I guess I could have still gone for H4. It's a question, do I want to castle into this sort of attack? One other plan might be to storm on the queen side. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to use this bishop to fight for this square. I can remove the knight and plant a knight in. That would help this bishop develop, though. Okay, so takes. Interesting. Takes. Maybe just play knight g1. Looks wrong, but I take the knight. Go for knight g1. Not thrilled with this. And this might be a move. Black wants to play queen g5, king f2. I think it's okay. I'll have knight f3 with tempo. Is f4 a thing here? f4 I should just be able to take. It does look fine now. Maybe I can play h4, this and this. Hmm. Still takes work. Ton of pressure. This rook is free. Wow, look at this fork. That's a clutch fork. Black's still fighting. Don't blame him. Everything's defended now. I'm up a queen for a bishop. Still down a little bit of time. Get the rook in. Yeah, my rook's completely stuck on h3. I'm trying to destabilize a chain so I can win d5. Opponent's still resisting. How to crack the position? Hey, rook f4. Okay. Almost flagged there. If I lost on time, I would have lost. I was so close. I dropped my queen. Could like barely get moves in. Okay. Third place. Top 3 isn't guaranteed. I was really close. I was really close.
Yay, go Eric.
Yay.
What's your heart rate?
Yeah, my heart is beating. Kind of wish I was wearing the heart rate monitor. Yeah, one moment I like froze. I couldn't move my pawn. Rosen took over. All right, let's chill down a little bit. Playing this person. STKA. Yeah, this will probably be the final game of the tournament. Yeah, we have a London line. This game might not actually count for the tournament. But we'll see. Pretty sure c4 here. So I have the bishop pair. Yeah, Black probably wants to play this and win the pawn, but I'll have resources. And if queen c7, I maybe start with taking. If takes, I have e6. If this, I have like knight b5. Wow. I have to calculate. And this feels like really close to winning. I want to be sure of it. There's also queen g4. There's also takes and rook c1. I think I just go for this. So the line I was looking at is takes, knight b5, queen a5, queen d2. We trade queens, and I'll be threatening this. And then black has either king d8 or knight a6 here. Against either move, I probably just plant my knight here. It should be pretty good. So I'm threatening the fork. Castling doesn't help. I would still trap the rook. Now it's a question because f6 is coming. Rook c1. I could maybe consider bishop g3. Idea to meet f6 with f4. I think I'm better off just playing rook c1. If f6 I can take, knight's still defended. If takes back, then maybe bishop g3. I mean, I also have takes. I don't think I'm in time, though, to do any damage. As much as I want to. Okay, one more move to look at. e4. e5, knight f5, king e6. Now I'm realizing bishop g3, e5, knight f5, king e6. Like, what do I do? Maybe I just end up taking. And then use the bishop pair. I'm going to go for this. I was just looking at e5, knight f5, king here. And then, like, maybe my knight finds a square, even h4. I can still, like, use this f5 square. Yeah, this game probably won't count for the tournament. But we'll still try and finish strong. There's also, okay, e5, I could maybe take rook c6. Black goes for this. I have b4 now. Yeah, b4 looks nice. There's knight e4, I take it. And I'll have the bishop pair in a pretty open position. If black doesn't go for this, the knight either has to go back to a6 or to a4. Both squares look pretty bad. So we do go for this. And now, I mean, rook c7? Or bishop b5? I like rook c7. Like, not only do I have the bishop pair, black is underdeveloped and kind of stuck. Like, knight's pinned to the king, and the bishop's blocked in by the knight and the pawn. And now I just want to get my other rook in. I guess black wants to play like this or this and then move the knight. Bishop b5, a6. Ah, so maybe I just play this. not super clear. My thought was if the king moves, I take on e6, but there's this move, discover check. And there's also bishop e2. Okay, I'm going to start with bishop e2. e5. Makes some sense. But now the knight's going to be tied down. I just want to get my king off the file now that my rook has come into the game. It should be good. King d6. Some bishop. Feels very close to winning. Bishop g4, knight b6. Maybe bishop h5. Kind of a random square. What am I doing though? I need some plan. It's also a question, what is black doing? I'm going to play bishop h5. Gives my king the e2 square. And knight's still kind of pinned to the pawn. Might see knight f8. But it still seems really difficult for black to untangle. I'm not sure what to expect here. Like, knight f8 would defend the pawn, but then the king is a bit stuck. f5. So that allows bishop h4. We might see some crazy mating idea. The rook is going to be driven away. I mean, if I can remove this pawn, rook c6 is like almost mate. Maybe just a4. That's a cool position. f4 doesn't really do that much. Okay, the knight moves, but now I can take and probably take... Oh no, I can take and take the bishop.
Oh no, my 2 years.
Oh no, black's bishop. Welcome back to Jack Tiggs. Happy 2 years. 2 years and beyond. Okay, I might lose this h-pawn. As long as I don't lose all these pawns. Probably bishop f1. Or even this move. It said 24 months, but now it says 25. So actually, oh no, you're 2 years. 2 years and 1 month. Yeah, the goal is to win one of the pawns on the 7th rank. Black's offering a trade. I think I'll start by playing bishop f1. I want to win this pawn, but I don't want to lose this pawn. So, gotta protect first. The rook is pretty much trapped in too. Take maybe this move first. Yeah, there may be like more efficient ways to win this. I'm just trying to be safe. Yeah, still plenty of time. I just didn't want to allow the rook to activate, f4 to come, and yeah, keep these pawns somewhat intact. Mm-hmm. King c4 is likely coming. F4. I still have to be careful. There. I can't stop f3. Yeah, this is pretty bad technique on my part. I still have bishop for pawn, but Black's king is active. These pieces are passive. The time's a bit lower. I probably got too relaxed there. I still have good chances, I would think. b5. This might come down to rook and bishop. Have to poke and prod. Okay, time is leveling. That's good. Yeah, I might actually just win on time. Okay, I have a check. Is this winning? This should be good enough. Okay. Finally simplified. Okay. Oh, it took work. It took work. I'm wondering if I had an easier path to victory in this opening. Engine likes queen g4, or knight c3 is still fine. Yeah, I went for the most like forcing concrete line. It's only slightly better for white. Right now it's really better.
Let's go, Eric. Sending positive vibes.
Oh, thank you, Gary. Welcome back. Happy 49. Yeah, this was actually one of my first ideas, to play queen g4, queen g3. And then just have the kingside attack. I went for this because it looked fun. Got the knight on d6. Engine really likes taking. And then rook c1. I guess black is still stuck here. f6. Ah, the pin allows the bishop to survive. And if this, there's this. Wow. Okay, well that's the tournament. Congratulations. My arena, I assume that stands for, or short for account, winning the tournament. Nice score. Anenaking in second. I took 4th overall. Yeah, so my first game, I drew, but this opponent got, oh, this opponent's count is now closed. Okay. Yeah, I did get a message on WeChat saying I got an 8-point or 9-point. It says 8-point rapid refund. Oh, but maybe there's some like decimal places. So nice to get some rating back. Yeah, I mean, I was suspicious. I didn't like directly accuse or make any accusations, but just based on the play two of the game, it was quite interesting. Am I back in the leaderboard? Oh hey, I'm a top 50 rapid player on Lichess. I'm 26 overall. Yeah, my peak is 27.15. But we can see the leaderboards. And yeah, maybe in future streams I can keep climbing. So I think that will conclude the stream and of course the tournament. Thanks everyone for watching.